have a bit of a change of scenery today. This is my self-tape setup. I've just been doing a very short, albeit short, I've just been doing very short self-tape. How many times am I going to say short? Either way, this was lovingly gifted to me for Christmas from my parents. It was on a little list I gave them, and you might laugh at the fact that a 30-year-old is giving their parents a list. But every year they ask me what I want, and every year I say I have no idea. So I thought, you know what, this year I do want things. I need a new backdrop, so that's what I got, and it was lovely. And it's already been put to use, 2 days after Christmas. So here we are. But yeah, Merry Christmas. I've wanted one of these since I stole the one in the basement. In China, we used to have this basement I used to go into. I used to do self-tapes down there. A lot of the time I wasn't sending them off. It was practice, it was keeping up skills, yada yada. But I did actually end up sending off some of that footage via showreels and things. Essentially, my showreel is not where it should be. It's a work in progress, guys, but currently it's a bunch of self-tapes, whether they're ones that I've done for jobs or they're ones that I've just done in my spare time. I did a self-tape challenge in COVID. Didn't quite make it to the end, but we had some family trauma, shall we say. So understandable, I think, being kind to myself. But yeah, essentially, I was sending off stuff, and there was stuff with my white backdrop, which is my old backdrop, and there was stuff with the blue one that I stole from the basement. I think this is the American standard. I think most Americans use this. I think in the UK it's more of a mix. But I was sending it off, and the feedback that I was getting is, you should just swap to a blue background because you're very pale and the white really washes you out. And I was like, okay, fine. So then when my parents asked what I wanted, I was like, backdrop please. And that's where we are today. We're going into the new year. It's currently the 28th, so 28th today. We're going into the new year with zero plan. There are multiple routes that my life could go down currently. 2 of them result in me being in China for an extended amount of time again. One of them results in me being on a ship, and the other is me crying in England, scraping for jobs again. Now, I'm hoping I won't be crying and scraping for jobs if I'm in England, because I'm hoping that now that my feet are kind of a little more firmly planted, I can actually start sending things out. But this is how it goes. And, my aunt likes to say, oh, it's very exciting. Yes, it is. It's also very unnerving to not have any idea what your finances are going to look like, what your schedule is going to look like. Obviously, people ask you about, are you free for this day? Are you free? Currently, yes. If something comes up, I've got to take it. And that is the eternal crux. I suppose one of the few drawbacks of what I do. I love what I do. But times like this are trying, because I want to hang out with friends and I want to say yes to everything, but I can't, because, well, I can, but it's always with the caveat of I could let you down, and that makes me feel really guilty, because I like to think of myself as a very loyal, a very reliable friend, and I hate cancelling plans. But at the end of the day, if a job comes in, I have to take it, guys. I have to take it. And, an audition, if it's for something that I don't really care about, maybe I'll push it aside. I'm lucky, touch wood, I don't have an agent at the moment, so it's kind of all on me. It's all on me to email them and say, actually, I won't be doing this. But obviously, if something does come up, I'm like, I've got to go, guys. I'm sorry. We need to range it. We need to reschedule. This is weird. Feels weird having you here. This is like vulnerable space. Welcome. Before you ask, I do crop it. So this side is gone and this side is gone. You do just see the blue screen. You don't see my sofa or any of the rubbish on the floor. And I'm normally stood, to be fair. But this is the setup. And yeah, I had a lovely Christmas, actually. It was my first Christmas at home in like 6 years. It was going to be weird. It was always going to be weird, but it was fine. It was quite nice to actually have time to talk to friends and family, and yeah, I don't know, feeling positive about the new year. I'm doing that 12-day solstice thing where you write down 13 goals for the new year. And then every day you burn one of the pieces of paper. I'm like putting it by the extractor fan every night, like trying not to set off my smoke alarms again, if you know that saga. By the way, that did continue. They did go off again. I just took it off the wall. I just took it off the wall. I can't deal with it anymore. But yeah, so you write down your 13 goals. You burn one every night on the lead up to, I think some people do it after Christmas Eve. Some people do it from the 20th of December. I did it from the 20th. And then the one that you are left with at the end at New Year's Eve is the one goal that you focus on, and the rest is kind of left up to the universe. So I've been mixing them every day, like the goblet of fire, and I've been pulling them out. Fingers crossed it's a good one. Fingers crossed it's not one that I'm like, oh God, what am I supposed to do with this? Because they're quite broad, because it's one goal. It's one goal for the whole year. So I was like, I'm going to go broad. They're actionable. Don't get me wrong. Been down that road. They're actionable goals, but they are large scale. They're quite dreamy and hopeful. So we will see. I will tell you which one I got. Probably going to be AWOL for the next few days. I'm seeing my friend in Panto tomorrow. I've got a gig on the 30th, and then again seeing some friends. Then it's New Year's Eve, guys. So party with me and 3 others. No, it's going to be such a fun night. I can't wait. New Year's Day. Is anyone going to be putting a morning vlog out on New Year's Day? The second I have a scope, and then I'll be back. I'll be back, guys. I might even be back before that. Depends where I'm at, really. If I've got time in the morning. The problem is we're losing light. The only reason I have this light is because I literally have a ring light. But it's not even... It's later today. It's 1. So this isn't really a morning vlog. But it is dark. Like, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to show you. This is living in England, right? I'm going to turn this off. Look how dark it is. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Why is it this dark? Either way, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2026.